And welcome to episode 152 of the Heresy Accountability Buddies. My name is Jack with my fellow co-hosts of...
Dave.
I'm pretty sure that was actually Brian, but this is Duncan.
And I'm John.
And I'm Jack. So before we get any further into this episode covering deception and speed and all of those fun things that you like to do on a Saturday night, we'll do a quick station identification.
Do you love resin bases? Then go to our sponsor, Elric Hobbies, for all of your basing and basing accessory needs. Use code HeresyABB at checkout for a discount. Legendary Monument Hobbies. Monument Hobbies is a one-stop shop for all of your painting needs. Use code HeresyABB at checkout for a 5% discount on your purchase. Pop Goes the Monkey. Find maker of third-party accessory bits of arms, legs, backpacks, and more, where you can get 10% off your first order over $125 with code HeresyABB at checkout.
And thank you to our patrons. Without you, Duncan would not be able to play an Ultramarines army. Yes, we are still on our same old shit. Duncan needs to build an Ultramarines army, so please sign up to our Patreon. So Duncan has to build an Ultramarines army. Everybody wants to see it. And if you don't want to see it, you're wrong. John wants to see it. Ain't that right, John?
Absolutely.
Brian wants to see it. Ain't that right, Brian?
I want to see him in his new Ultra Mad t-shirt.
I bet he'll be ultra mad. We're not going to give him a chance to rebuttal.
Each and every single one of you.
John, do you want to tell us about your hobby progress since, was it last weekend? Time has
it was. Yeah, so this week I managed to get the Major Minis giant Super Emperor statue model I bought. It's about a 1/12 scale, so just they claim it's that tall, but the head of this model, I haven't really unpacked it yet, but the head is about the size of a Marine. If that kind of gives you any idea of how large this thing is going to be. Managed to get some Emperor's Children primed and spot colored for the photo booth for upcoming for Texas Open. Went in and got some AI manipulation to get a cool little video of a wireframe ship for the photo booth that can kind of be playing in the background. Got some of the terrain I've been working on over the last couple months based and textured and spot colored. So I've got a couple of the old Forge World missile silo pieces of terrain that I got painted up and finished for that as well. Some of the old Forge World pillbox bunkers, some moisture evaporators. Prometheum Forge did a really cool Kickstarter way back when for some Necromunda terrain, but inside of that they also had some of their MDF cut soda can terrain, and I got 3 of those painted up. I got 2 of them based, stuck together, and then textured that base. And went through a lot of my kind of dead people pile and base pile and pulled out a whole bunch of different supply drops and stacks of barrels and things like that. Got that all stuck together and primed today. And then before we got on, I got a text from my 3D printer guy that the last 12 of my Sentinels are printed. So he'll be delivering those to me this coming weekend at our monthly gaming event showcase.
John, I mean this in the nicest possible way. For your 3D printer guy, do you have them numbered or are they lettered like you have 3D printer guy A, B, C, Z, or do you have them numbered between 1 and 37?
I did make sure that none of them have the same first name, so it does help. So Andrew is the one that's printing me all the his tanks. He's a local, and I handed him one of the toys so he could match the STL file that I bought a while ago to the size of the toy that I was using for the first 24 his tanks. That way I don't have to worry about, the toys looking different from the STL files, at least size-wise. There can be some, obviously, detail pieces.
The term we're looking for is scale creep.
Yeah.
And it's real.
And he's also a patron, so he's giving us a little bit of money back. And then Jeremy is another one of the printers that I use locally. He also builds the MDF stuff for me. And he's also a patron. And then Jamie is the third one. So yes, I technically have them numbered. I guess by closeness is probably the best way to do that. So Jeremy's closer, Andrew's a little further away, and then Jamie, I can't even visit in person. He's got to ship it to me.
Which is perfect because your 3D printer guys are like your mistresses. You never want them to meet.
Oh no. I feel bad like talking about stuff. I'm getting one of them to print in front of the other one. Like I kind of want to keep it off to the side, but yeah, that's about as far as that goes. Yeah, that's really all I got. What about you, Brian?
I have had a pretty chill week. I have spent several hours with my cousin who broke his foot, so now he can slow down long enough to learn how to play 30K. He decided that just learning a whole new game system and getting into it wasn't hard enough. He decided to go with Black Shields, of all things. So there's been a few phone calls and lots of messages back and forth trying to help him get to terms with everything and to break his 30K virginity. I also helped the legendary Pennsylvania Mike, who is another Patreon of ours, with a Death Guard list that he was having some conundrums with. That wasn't too bad. And just this afternoon, I helped my oldest son with his Blood Angels. A friend of ours gave him a painted squad of, I suppose they're a Praetorian command squad with power weapons and cool stuff, as well as a jump pack Praetor. And I showed my son how to do all the textures on the bases because the guys were already painted, and then I helped him glue the guys down. So that was all I got done. What about you, Duncan?
Well, I didn't work on the tanks at all this week, and I'm okay with that. The reason I didn't is because I finally got my bases from Elric's that I've been waiting on, all fully done. I worked on that, finished all 20 of the bases for the last 2 tactical squads I worked on. So they're done. I have them all sealed, assembled, etc., get ready to get put on the shelf so that I can then finally finish getting the stuff on these next 2 tanks. Hopefully get them fairly well progressed by the end of this week. And then move on to another set of Night Raptors and going from there. Jack, your hobby.
I didn't freeze to death.
That's important.
I see you sitting there in a hoodie for some reason, Jack.
That because the garage is cold, but yet still somewhere warmer than Wisconsin, with the negative 31 degree wind chill on one of the days. The sun was out. And it was negative 31.
Welcome to the Great White North.
Oh my God. I literally saw people, the town I was in had a lake river thing situation going through it, and somebody pushed out an ice fishing hut onto this lake in this downtown area, and they were fishing there. And I'm like, that seems like one of the most Wisconsin things I've seen since I've been up here.
So, did you go out there and ask if you could fish?
No, but the ice was thick enough that you could drive your car onto it.
Wait, hold on. I know, being from Kentucky, I haven't seen that in person, ever. Have you ever seen that in person before, Jack?
No, because no.
Okay. John, have you ever seen that in person before?
I don't think man should see that.
Well,
Okay.
I take
I'm
it
not
back.
going to ask Brian's opinion.
Discovery
Brian,
Channel.
Okay, I said in person, though.
No,
not on TV. Brian, being from Detroit, I'm pretty sure he's or from somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure he's seen that more times than he can count. Is that right, Brian?
I have walked onto Lake Michigan several hundred yards from shore on the ice myself, yes.
This sounds like a bad idea. Just in general. I mean,
well,
did the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald teach us nothing?
Well, that wasn't ice.
I mean, it's still cold, Great Lakes, stinky, not good.
I think
Especially if you're walking on water.
I think the prevailing theory on what sunk the Edmund Fitzgerald was the Three Sisters, which is a pattern of waves that forms in the Great Lakes where you have three really big waves and they're spaced far enough apart. One of those 1,000-foot long freighters can break its back because there's no water underneath the middle of it.
I thought it was a combination of the Three Sisters, the fact that the company, because it was rated to hold, making up numbers because I don't know the real numbers, like 15 million tons of the heavy ass ore that was carrying, and they just upgraded it to carry 25,000 tons, and the upgrade was just literally rubber stamping saying it can go from carrying this to this now. So I thought that was the other issue that it had. So it was sitting further in the water, deeper in the water, so the waves had, was whipping over the ship and into the hose.
It could have been, but Lake Superior is notorious, especially the region where it went down, which is north of Whitefish Point. The weather gets really bad up there, and it's sunk hundreds of ships over the years.
If all I know is if it put 15 more miles behind her, it would have been safe.
I am so very glad that I brought that topic up. I shall now commit ritual seppuku.
By the way, guys, not only are we a 30K podcast, but we're also a BattleTech podcast and a boat podcast.
History of boating. Accountability buddies.
And on that note, John, do you want to take us to the news?
Absolutely. So this week, we didn't see any Heresy releases according to the GW website. Not a one. Nope, nothing at all. No Heresy new releases, as announced last week. But during the week, they randomly decided that the Siege of Terra book would be released as print on demand for the special edition that randomly got canceled a few months ago. And due to GW's great wise counsel, you'll have noticed that it wasn't on the new releases page, even though it's a new release. You actually have to go and search for the damn thing. So if you've been having trouble, if you've been having trouble trying to find where this book is, just start typing Era up in the search bar and it'll eventually come up. I got one to just finish the set of Siege of Terra books.
If I had been collecting all of them in hardback in those, I probably would as well.
But you have your maps?
Yep, I have my maps.
Yep. For next Sunday, our preview this week was they're taking a break from Sunday previews. Surprise.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything for pre-order next week, and probably not going to be anything for the rest of the year. Apart from the Grotmas Advent calendar, which this week actually brought us a few different things. First is the announcement of upcoming Christmas made-to-order Mechanicus terrain. So they're going to re-release the Killzone reactor set, the Mechanicus-themed walkways, pylons, drilling set, and then the Mechanicus reactors, the Kill Team shipping container / cab thingy that really had a role in the world, the crane set, and then the Killzone add-on set number 1. So each one of these is going to be made to order. Again, remember, whenever you make to order something, it's going to take them 3 to 6 months to deliver it to you. These will all go up for made to order starting on Thursday, December 25th, and stop on Monday the 12th. Also, don't expect them to be cheap. They usually mark up the price a bit from what they used to be before they stopped making them. It is nice to see some of this stuff coming back. Like the reactor set here was never available separately. Same with the Killzone add-on and their little hab block thing here. Those were never available outside of Killzone starter sets. GW also dropped Ave Imperator, another Christmas animation. Nicely done for a freebie. Kind of like one of those Coca-Cola or Chevy Christmas commercials where it's just a kind of a heartwarming little story. Doesn't talk about the product at all. But kind of neat. For Grotmus, we got the other trade painting guide, which this time it was the traders. So it goes through kind of quickly showing you how to paint each Trader Legion. I thought it was funny that the Night Lords one didn't even bother to mention how they painted lightning. It just told you how to paint the armor.
Yeah, that one was annoying.
And just like the other one, there's pictures of finished models in the article, and the PDF just has images of their kind of sketch designs. They missed a great example of a way that they could have put Dark Angels in both of these documents and made some people happy. But they didn't.
I would have left. Not
Yep.
gonna lie.
But they were just in the wrong article is all.
Yep. During the week, we got the announcement of Total War 40K. There was a trailer, cinematic trailer, that leads into a gameplay trailer. It's online. Apparently, you're going to be able to switch Space Marine chapters in this because it's set in 40K. They also showed off Eldar, Orcs, and Imperial Guard. No telling if other races are going to show up or if they're going to have add-ons later. A lot of people are pulling a lot of gameplay things from the 30 seconds of gameplay that we got in the trailer, like claims of unit limitations and limited map size, things like that. I'm going to say the same thing I say about everything, that we try to pull too much information from looking at stuff. Wait till the game comes out or till the company says something before we decide not to buy or swear off something.
I'm
John, how are we going to panic if we don't do that?
not trying to be a Debbie Downer on this, but that means since it's 40K, that means it has all the new stuff that I have no clue what any of it is, right? Probably.
Correct. But because it's on the PC, it's going to have mods. So there will probably be a Heresy mod within a month or two.
I would look forward to that. That I would look forward to having. I don't think my computer can handle it, but I will look forward to having it.
So a while ago, Brian, friend of the show, and I both ordered these Space Marine jerseys. I ordered the Ultramarine one. He ordered the Space Wolf one. A while ago, I mean January. And the expected release date was August of 2025. And back then, they only had one image. Now they have better images, including a box. That's going to be what it looks like when it comes out. And a release date of the future. So, but what's funny is Merchoid is still listing this as their new for 2025 line, even though it's not coming out in 2025.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Joy Toy dropped their Armoring Hall editions of stuff. So we've got the Random Space Marine Intercessor Armoring Hall edition. Basically, this is a primed Joy Toy figure for you to paint in whichever chapter you choose to do so. Just an Intercessor Marine with a bolt rifle, chainsword, bolt pistol, holstered and non-holstered versions of the bolt pistol, some frag grenades, crack grenades, and 6 sets of hands, or 6 hands to go of your choice. They also dropped the 40K version of Abaddon, including, I guess, face masked and not face masked heads, posable claws, Dracnin, his new silly back banner, and posable ammo feeds, and a removable wolf pelt. Be nice to see the 30K version get some love. Starforge dropped some new pins. So we've got the Ruinous Powers, one pin for each god. You've got...
The fuck? Does that say $126.92?
It does. That's for all 4 pins.
Oh, no, that makes me feel so much better.
They're $33 a piece normally.
Oh, are they made out of like, I don't know, vibranium, unobtainium, fucking the tears of fucking children?
No,
American.
they are fairly large, so that looks like they're I want to say 2 or 3 inches across. They look really larger than most of their pins. It looks like it's going to be at least 2 or 3 pin backs on it, so it'll kind of give you an idea of scale. But yeah, they're definitely odd. They're kind of designed to look 40K-ish. So the Nurgle one has a Plague Marine helmet. The Khorne one has a Bloodletter on it. The Slaanesh one has an Emperor's Children face on it. And then the Tzeentch one has, looks like a Flamer and a Pink Horror on it. This one's a little more reasonably priced. The Raven Guard Scroll. So like they've been doing for a lot of the Heresy armies. It's kind of a purity seal, except the seal itself is part of a... what you'd call that, like the artwork that kind of starts off chapters in books, that little piece of artwork there. So you've got a Raven Guard shield with a Crux Terminatus, some little silver bird skulls, and a Cyber Raven kind of embracing the shield. And then below that, you've got the parchment paper itself is a Raven Guard saying written on it. And then this is also one of their line that you can swap the backs, so it can either be a magnet or a 2-post pin, depending on how you want to display it. In other gaming news, there is a Kickstarter that's just about to end called the Space Troopers Army. This is a range of 28mm STLs that are designed to be single pose models that look a lot like the old Rogue Trader Imperial Army figures. All holding kind of sci-fi looking las guns. We've got some World War II German potato masher grenades. We've also got casualties, old Rogue Trader styled Ogrins, Psychers that look like they came from 50s sci-fi movies. Some cool servitors, commissars, rattling chefs, rattling snipers in chefs' outfits. And then some tanks that could fit in for good chimeras. So, kind of cool if you want to have a Rogue Trader era army. If you look at the expansions, they also have, in their previous Kickstarter, they did a Beastmen army, and you can add those STLs onto this campaign if you choose to. And the Beastmen army had Centaurs and Bulgrins and a bunch of other stuff on there. Sadly, it only ends in 3 days from the 14th, soon we're recording, so not that long to get on there if you want to back that one. Terrain Kickstarter I saw, it's called The Last Settlement. This looks a lot like Fallout 4 buildings that you can kind of build yourself. I thought they'd be kind of cool for ash waste type of things. It took a lot of existing infrastructure and built kind of buildings out of it. So places to live inside of grain silos, inside of septic tanks that are kind of uprooted, things like that. Just some neat kind of basic terrain that you could print yourself. As well as some crash fires, stacked cars. This company's done a few other different scrap hunting, was one they did before with a big crashed jet engine we talked about a while ago. A company called Alternative Armies is coming out with, it's called a Dominator Sphere. No telling when it's going to be available. It says it's available now, but I didn't see it on their website. It's about 40 millimeters tall. It looks a lot like the Kanban device crossed with the those fantasy steampunk dwarves that GW has. This little ball with little robot arms. That make kind of neat for Mechanicum forces if you're looking for some different Thalax and things like that. If you like doing weird sci-fi, RTLW has come out with a kind of funny looking army. They're called the Breakers of Starfall. What happens if Harry Potter joined the Inquisition is basically what this is. So you've got Harry with his Cyber Owl, Hermione with the Gyrinx, and then Ron with Flamethrower.
Okay. I mean, interesting.
This one may only be up to me because I've been detailing a lot or cleaning up a lot of dead bodies to put on terrain and stuff. There's a guy on Kickstarter called Martyrs of the Mud. It's got 19 days left. It's a bunch of STLs for crucified, hanging, body bags, praying, and martyred, basically dead people, in different ways that you could put them around your battlefield. You get 40 different dead people for $24. And unlike most dead people, nothing in this is X-rated. It's a little macabre because they're dead people, but nothing outside the norm for other than being dead. So no grotesque nudity, no freakish disembowelments and things like that.
I mean, interesting.
Yeah. I like the body bags. I haven't really looked, I guess, a lot, but I haven't really seen a lot of people that are making 3D body bags.
No,
I've seen ways to make them, but it's kind of involved using twine and tying up things and using actual trash bags and things. It's a little complicated for something I want to mass produce for terrain.
I get that.
And that's really all the news, gentlemen.
All right. Well, all that said and all that done, shall we move on to tonight's meat and potatoes then? I know
Sure.
It's something we've all been trying to get ourselves back to, is completing the Legion reviews. And tonight we were, I believe, discussing, we were planning on doing the White Scars and Alpha Legion. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm glad I'm not totally out of sorts on my brain power. Who wants to do which, and where shall we start?
Oh, I can take the White Scars to start off with.
Sounds good to me, because I'm not really sure on them at all.
Yeah, I'm not a White Scars player. I'm sure that will surprise some of you. I only play the best Legion, the Ultramarines. But White Scars, Rite of War, is swift of action. The White Scar player may increase their model's movement characteristic. At the starting of any controlling player's turns, that player may choose to increase the movement characteristic of any model with this special rule and a base movement characteristic of at least one, and apply a modifier of +2 to that characteristic until the end of the player turn. Basically, if it's not immobile, you can always move +2.
Ricky Bobby rules.
Yep. Their gambit is the Path of the Warrior. The controlling player may take a chance to gain a bonus to the focus roll. When the gambit is selected, before making the focus roll, the controlling player must declare a choice to strike low. Predicting the result of the next focus roll before any modifiers are applied is 1 to 3, or strike high, predicting the result is a 4 to 6. If the result of the focus roll corresponds to your choice, you may ignore all negative modifiers and only apply positive modifiers to your focus roll. So it's an interesting way to kind of give yourself a slight bonus without having any really big detractions.
Okay.
Their additional detachment is called the Chagorian Warband. This is an auxiliary detachment. A prime fast attack slot, a normal fast attack slot, and 2 recons. The fast attack slots must be scimitar jet bikes, and the recons must be outriders. So a great way to add more speed to your army. Their advanced reaction is called Chasing the Wind. This advanced reaction allows the controlling player to make an additional move with the reacting unit. So the reacting player may declare a Chasing the Wind advanced reaction in step 2 of the movement subphase process. If an enemy unit ends within 12 inches and in line of sight of a unit that only includes model with the White Scars trait, you can move. What's that? Yep. Make a move with the reacting unit. Follows the rules for normal movement, including any modifiers for difficult or dangerous terrain, making any tests required by dangerous terrains, but you may not rush. So an interesting way to get yourselves closer or further away from enemies, depending on how you would choose to use it. They don't have any Armory of the White Scars. So they have access to the Power Glaive. Any model with the command subtype may change their power weapon for a Power Glaive for plus 10 points. Normal initiative and attacks, plus 1 strength, AP 3, damage 1. Impact is AP, so you go to AP 2, and breaching 5 up. You can also take a Cyberhawk. Any models with the command subtype and the White Scars trait may have a Cyberhawk for 10 points. Cyberhawk gives you a move through cover. And then Sagar Mazan is their prime. All models in the unit selected to fill the prime org slot with this prime advantage game expendable 2 special rule. So a great way of having a suicidal unit that you can just throw at whatever you want and don't really care if it dies or not. They have access to a custom psychic discipline called Storm Calling. A model with the Storm Calling discipline gains the following benefits: move through cover special rule, Unseen Bolt psychic power, Call of the Wind psychic power, and the Stormseer trait. Unseen Bolt is a psychic weapon, range 36, firepower 1, strength and AP 4, damage 1. It's a 5-inch blast, barrage 2, stun 2, and you can force it to improve the range strength. Call of the Wind is a blessing psychic power used in the movement phase and can allow the target unit to move its full rush distance as a normal move. Then you have access to... Oh wait, these are all out of order. That's why this is wonky. Sorry, guys.
Good. I don't have that one in front of me, unfortunately, so I can't literally look at anything to assist or make comments. I am talentless today.
Yeah, my...
Just today?
Well, okay. Often.
Okay, they have access to... The psychic powers are taken by the Stormseer. This is a new command model for 95 points. A basic marine stats, except he's weapon skill and ballistic skill 5. Strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, I5, 4 attacks, leadership 8, cool 7, willpower 10, and intelligence 8. And he's got a 2-up, 5-up. Comes with a force staff, bolt pistol, frag and cracks. He is a psyker, and he can take any of the Legion pistols. He can take Storm Calling, the psychic discipline we just went through, for 10 points, Divination for 20, Thaumaturgy for free, or Telepathy for 10. They also have access to a bunch of different custom units. So let's do the Kazagan Assault Speeder first. This is a support unit role. For 105 points, you get access to 1 speeder. Movement 14, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength 4, T7, 4 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership and cool 8, willpower and intelligence 7, and a 3-up save. Comes stock with the Carries assault cannon and 2 Reaper autocannons. It's bulky 5, it's got deep strike and firing protocols 3, so it can shoot all of its guns all the time. And it's an anti-grav cavalry. You can buy it 2 hunter-killer missiles for 5 points.
5 points each, or you get 2 for 5?
5 points each. The Eben Keshig is their custom unit of Terminators. They use up the Terminator slot. You get 5 guys for 200. You can take an additional 5 for 35 points apiece. Movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength 4, T5, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks base, leadership 10, cool willpower 9, intelligence 8, and they got a 2-up, 5-up. They come stock with a power glaive. They're bulky 2, Vanguard 3, feel no pain 6-up, and expendable 2. And then Legacies gave them the ability to swap their power glaive for a combi bolter and power weapon for 5 points, or a combi bolter and a power fist for 10 points. Any model in this unit which has power glaive exchanged for 1 combi bolter and 1 power weapon, or combi bolter and power fist, may have the combi bolter exchanged for a Volkite charger for free, or from 1 item from the Legion combi weapon list. 1 model in the unit can have a Vexilla, and any model in the unit may have grenade harness. We've also got the Golden Keshig. For 140 points, you get a champion and 2 Keshig riders. You can take an additional 3 for 40 points. This is their custom scimitar jet bikes. So, movement 16, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill, strength, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership and cool of 8, except leadership's 9 on the sergeant, willpower and intelligence 7, and they've got a 2-up save base. They come with the Kontos Power Lance, a power sword, a bolt pistol, and a scatter bolt launcher. They can deep strike. They're bulky 3. The champion can change their power sword for a power axe for free, or a thunderhammer for 10 points. And then any rider may change their power sword for a power axe for free. The Power Lance, the Kontos Power Lance, is initiative modifier +4. So you're going at initiative 8. Plus, or no attack modifier, or is it attacks 1? Yeah, just 1 attack. Strength +5, AP 3, damage 2, impact AP, so it becomes AP 2, and it's Armor Bane. And the Scatterbolt launcher that's custom on these guys is a template weapon. 1 shot, strength 5, AP 4, damage 1, shred 6-up, and pinning. And it is an assault weapon. Legacies gave them access to swap their power swords for power lances, power mauls, or charm ball sabers for free, and to take a Vexilla for 10 points. Legacies also gave us the Storm Seer with a jump pack for 115. Everything else there looks the same. He can only take pistols, and he can buy the different psychic traits. The Storm Seer can also be on a Scimitar jet bike or a Outrider bike for 125. Same options. You could also take Terminator armor. In that case, he has to take combi weapons, not pistol options. And then you also have access to the White Scars Falcon's Claws. You get 1 Falcon Claw champion and 4 Falcon's Claws for 110 points. You can take 5 additional Falcon's Claws for 18 points a model. These guys are movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, and toughness 4, 1 wound, initiative 4, 2 attacks base, 3 attacks on the champion. Leadership, Cool, and Willpower 7. Leadership 8 on the Sergeant, and Intelligence 8. And these guys are 4-ups because they're basically scouts. They all come with a pair of Lightning Claws, Frag and Crack Grenades, Outflank, Precision 6-up on all their attacks. And they have the Smokescreen trait. They can swap their Lightning Claws for a Power Weapon and a Bolt Pistol for free. And the champion can swap their Lightning Claws to 1 Claw and a Hammer, Thunder Hammer for 15, 1 Claw and a Power Fist for 15, 1 Claw and a Hand Flamer for 5, 1 Claw and a Plasma Pistol for 10, or 1 Claw and a Volkite Serpenta for free. Champion can take Melt the Bombs for 10, and they can take a Cyber Hawk for 10. The Dark Sons of Death. The Falcon's Claws took up a Recon slot. The Dark Sons of Death take up a Terminator slot. For 125 points, you get a Champion and 4 Dark Sons. You can take 10 additional Dark Sons for 20 points apiece. These guys are Move 12, Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill, Strength and Toughness 4. The Sergeant is Weapon Skill 5. He also has 2 attacks, whereas normal guys have 1. Leadership and Cool 8, Sergeant Leadership 9. Willpower and Intelligence 7, 3-up saves on both of them. They come with Bolt Pistol, Chainsword, Frag and Crack, and Rad Grenades. They're bulky 2, they can deep strike, they have impact attacks, and Invocation of the Raising Tempest. Any model in the unit can swap their Chainsword for a Charnball Saber for 5, or a Power Glaive for 15. For every 5 models in the units, one of them can swap their Bolt Pistol for a Plasma Pistol for 5, or a Hand Flamer for 5. For 5 models in the unit, one model can swap to a Flamer for 5, Plasma Gun for 10, Melt the Gun for 15. The Champion can take a Power Weapon, Power Fist, or Lightning Claw. The Champion can also take anything from the pistols list. The Champion can also swap their Bolt Pistol and Chainsword for a pair of Claws for 10. And Champion can have Melt the Bombs for 10. The Invocation of the Raising Tempest special rule says that a unit that includes models with this special rule can be more easily selected as a target of Call the Wind Psychic Power. If they're selected as a target of Call the Wind Psychic Power from the Storm Calling discipline, while with one model within 24 inches of the focus instead of 12, and they don't have to have line of sight. So it just allows you to cast that Storm Seer Psychic Power on them a lot easier.
Test. See if my internet came back up. Sorry.
Yep, you're good.
Cool.
All right, finally on to the special characters. We've got Hibu Khan for 165 points. He's Movement 7, Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength and Toughness 4, 3 wounds, I5, 4 attacks, Leadership 10, Cool, Willpower, and Intelligence 8. He's a 2-up, 5-up. He's got Officer Line 2, Seeker of Atonement, and Expendable 2. He comes with the Breath of the Storm, Bolt Pistol, Frag and Cracks. Breath of the Storm is a special 2-handed sword he's got. Initiative +1, base attacks, +2 strength, AP 3, damage 1. Critical hit 6-up and breaching 4-up on a power weapon. The Seeker of Atonement is a gambit that he can take to avoid being removed as a casualty. While this gambit is selected, if this model is reduced to 0 wounds in step 4 of the strike step, controlling player rolls a dice. On a 4-up, he's not dead, but instead remains engaged in the challenge with wounds characteristic of 1, and the controlling player gains challenge advantage. That's pretty cool. And it's nice that he's got Officer Line. You've also got Quinza for 220. Movement 7, Weapon Skill 4, Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 4 wounds, Initiative 5, and 5 attacks. Leadership 10, Cool, Willpower, Intelligence 9. He's got a 2-up, 4-up. His only war gear is Tails of the Dragon, which is a custom twin blades. He's bulky 2-up, and he's got a special rule called Chosen of the Kagan. The swords are base initiative, base attacks, strength +1, AP 2, damage 1, critical hit 5 up, precision 3 up, power weapon. The Chosen of the Kagan is a special rule that ensures the arrival of a unit held in reserve. Once per battle at the start of the reserve subphase of the movement phase, this model's controlling player may select a single unit that only includes model with the White Scars trait in reserves. Reserve rolls made for that unit during this subphase are automatically successful. Finally, the Great Khan himself. Jagatai ranks in at 440 points. Movement 8, weapon skill 7, ballistic skill strength, toughness, and wounds all of 6s. Initiative 7, 7 attacks. Leadership 12, cool 10, willpower 10, intelligence 10, and a 2 up, 4 up. He's got the White Tiger Dao, a custom sword with initiative +2, base attacks and strength, AP 2, damage 2, impact he gets an extra attack, and duelist edge 1 on a power weapon. He's also got Storm's Voice, an assault weapon with range 12, firepower 2, strength 6, AP 4, 2 damage, reaching 5 up, Defilgrate 6, and stun 1. He's also Eternal Warrior 2 and Death by 1,000 Cuts. Is a special gambit he can take. If this gambit is selected during the strike step, the strength of attacks made by the enemy are modified by a -1 modifier if that model's wound characteristics has been reduced below its base value. This cannot reduce the strength to below 1. Like all Primarchs, he's got Sire, Sire of the White Scars. If he's part of an army, the controlling player may apply the following additional special rules to all auxiliary apex and primary detachments. If 4 or more of the troop battlefield role slots in the primary detachment of this army are filled, then any transport battlefield role slots in the primary detachment may be exchanged for recon battlefield role slots. Any recon role slots included in the primary detachment in this way must be filled with Land Raider Explorators. Furthermore, if he's part of an army, then the following special rules are granted to all models with infantry and Primarch type. Until the end of the first battle turn, all models in this army with infantry and Paragon type have Fast 2 special rule. And that is all of the scars, gentlemen.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I didn't realize they had so much. And it works well together. You can see where the
is supposed to be, or whether they actually did
the Dark
anything
Sons of
noteworthy.
Death give bonuses from the Stormseer powers, and everybody's kind of building off of moving fast and hitting hard.
I think the one thing that I always liked about them was their weird sword, the glaive, the power glaive. Basically it's a Dao or whatever, the Mongolian style sword or whatever it is. I always liked that it was kind of a unique, different type of power weapon. And last edition and second edition, it wasn't all that great. But now, where you get your base +1 strength, your AP 3, but you also get, on the charge, you get impact AP, dropping you down to AP 2. It's not the best weapon, but it definitely gives you, I mean, you have reaching 5 up afterwards, but it makes you automatically AP 2 on the time you charge. So that's it's kind of nice. And it's definitely a flavorful weapon for him. So I think overall, if I was playing Scars, I would probably throw a lot of those onto my my close combat characters. And just
it's definitely a mix-up if you're just expecting power swords and all of a sudden they're coming in with all those power glaives.
Yep. I like them. I think they're flavorful and fun, and they look cool.
Yep.
As opposed to just the generic, oh, look, it's another power sword. Yay. or
And
power
White Scars themselves were kind of, I mean, ironically fitting with the fluff, they were kind of forgotten about as far as like not just rules, but story-wise up until kind of the end of the Heresy books.
Well, they had, 3 books? I mean, they
Yeah.
had the Scars novel that was kind
But
of
those were
broken up.
all like later, like in the 40s.
Yeah, they were 30s and 40s. They were good stories, and
Yep.
they had a couple short stories in a couple other places in the collected books. But they were really largely ignored, and I really wish they hadn't been. It's like everybody just kind of forgot they existed somehow.
Yeah. And I don't know if GW leaned into that or if it was just symmetry of life, but
Don't know.
that's kind of how they were in the Heresy themselves. They were really ignored by everybody else because they were just out doing their own thing.
Until the siege, and when they were there to do their thing and take massive amounts of casualties.
Yep.
Well, shall we progress over to my end of the spectrum, as it were?
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
The traitors, the Alpha Legions. Duncan's not really a dedicated loyalist. Unless someone like Jack, who actually has an Alpha Legion army, would like to do them.
Is a strong word. It hasn't seen and on the table since first edition.
Yeah, so I guess then I'll progress into this because I actually have dug a little bit of these guys, unless Brian wants to.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot we were doing this weekend. I'm not gonna lie about it.
That's okay.
I can dip into them. Let me pull up.
See here.
So right at the start, we have the Rite of War for Legions Astartes Alpha Legion. Legion Tactica, Lies and Obfuscation. A model with this special role is always considered to be 2 inches farther away than it actually is when measuring range to it from any enemy model for the purpose of resolving a shooting attack, charge, or any reaction declared by an enemy model or unit, and that is cumulative with other modifiers to range imposed by special rules. They have their special Alpha Legion Gambit, I am Alfarius. This Gambit can only be selected during the first face-off step of a challenge involving this model. If this Gambit is selected, then the opposing model in the challenge sets their combat initiative to 1 until the end of the strike step, which it's fairly handy, especially if you want to do that first round of combat decapitation strike and murk your opponent right off the bat and not progress any further. You could probably pull it off. It also blocks out the Emperor's Children shenanigans that they can pull with their initiative boosts in combat.
Yep, very true, very true.
Additional detachments. They get the Headhunter Leviathal. This one's kind of an interesting detachment. It gives you 2 elite slots and 2 recon slots. The recon slots are both prime, and the elite slots can only be used to select Seeker Squads or Headhunter Kill Team units.
Both of which are surprisingly good and effective.
They both have a scary good place, that's for sure.
Yep.
Their advanced reaction is Smoke and Mirrors. This reaction changes the target number of precision hit tests made against the reacting unit. Oh, this one's going to be wordy. Trigger. The reactive player may declare Smoke and Mirrors advanced reaction in the shooting phase during step 3 of the shooting attack sequence of any shooting attack made by the active player that targets a unit that includes only models with the Alpha Legion trait. It costs you 1 reaction point. The target unit is always the unit whose shooting attack triggered the reaction. The reacting unit is always the unit that was the target of the shooting attack. process. Once this reaction is declared, until the target unit's shooting attack has been resolved, shooting attacks with the Precision X special rule can only be inflicted on the hit test result of 6 or better.
I feel like there was a lot easier way to write that.
Yeah, there is. The easiest way to do it is when you use this reaction, your opponent's precision shots at this unit can only hit on 6, or only activate precision on 6. So they don't get to snipe out your characters with their seekers or their headhunters or their vigilators or what have you.
This is not super useful in what I've seen. I have not seen a lot of people really using precision shot shooting attacks.
No.
I could be wrong, but
I mean, one thing I do like about it, unlike so many others, it's not once per battle.
no, it is not.
And that kind of reflects back to their Legion Tactica, where you don't have to do anything to actually activate it. You're always 2 inches further away. And with this and that together, it kind of shows that they're more flexible than most.
Okay, I have not thought about this before, but being that the 2 inches farther away applies for assaults, does that mean that would affect your ability to step up into combat and neglect that whole volley fire stage?
So my understanding on that is yes, because you have to be 2 inches further away to actually have the successful assault. So
Okay.
while you may not be able to do it, they can still do it back based on everything. It's kind of wonky.
Seems legit, though.
It fits for Alpha Legion.
Moving on to Armory of the Alpha Legion. They still get their cool Venom Spheres. Any model with the Alpha Legion trait in the Command Champion subtype may be given Venom Spheres for 5 points per model. There are range 8, firepower 1, range strength 1, AP dash, damage 1, 3-inch blast with the poison 4 up rule. They also gain access to power daggers. Any model with the Alpha Legion trait in the Command Champion or Sergeant subtype may have its power weapon exchanged for 1 power dagger for free. These I actually really like. They are initiative modifier +2. Attacks are user, strength modifier -1, AP3, damage 1, breaching 5 up.
I want to like those. I really do. I think en masse they're really nice, but I think for regular characters to depend on that, I think that -1 strength really kind of hurts it.
Well, that's the goofy thing. Because it's -1 strength, it pretty much means that any damage you will do with this weapon is going to be a breaching wound.
Yeah.
I don't like just taking them on one individual guy in a unit, but when we get to the headhunter kill team, every single guy in that squad comes with them, which makes them kind of terrifying in hand-to-hand.
Agreed.
They also gain rewards of treachery.
So Legacies also gave them access to a couple other options.
Well, if you want to cover those, John, I don't have that pulled up right now.
Yeah, so they also added some new combi weapons. The Bane Strike Bolter can be added to anyone that has access to a combi weapon for 5 points, and the Bane Strike Combi Bolter for 10 points.
Yep.
Just giving them access back to their special guns.
Which I believe Bane Strike Bolters are just reaching 6 up, and then they have the relevant number of shots, whether combi or regular.
Yep.
Rewards of Treachery. If a unit which only includes models with the Alpha Legion trait that has the command battlefield role is selected to fill a Prime Force organization slot, the following Prime advantage can be selected. Add one additional battlefield role slot to the detachment that includes the unit selected to fill a Prime Force organization slot with this Prime advantage. This slot may be of any battlefield role other than High Command, Command, Warlord, or Lord of War. Note that a detachment may gain more than one additional Force organization slot if this option is selected for multiple units in the same detachment. Each unit selected to fill such a slot must be from Legion's Astartes army list, not have the Alpha Legion faction trait on their unit profile, and not include any models that have the unique subtype. All models in any of these units have their faction trait replaced with Alpha Legion.
Yep. So you can go ahead and steal whoever you need's special unit that's not characters or Primarchs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's nice, but some of them don't work well. I mean, if, for example, you stole Justarin, you wouldn't get their ability to full Ballistical Volley Fire because you don't have the rule tying it to the Sons of Horus. But you still have the regular rules for everything else. So they're good. It's nice to be able to flex your army to have whatever you want, as it always has been. I like the Alpha Legion a lot. I've never played them personally, but I've always liked them.
I just think it's funny that I always find myself never wanting to steal another faction's unit because the Alpha Legion units themselves are so neat and good as it is.
I'll agree there. There are some very deep uses you could find, but they're predominantly in like elite, like special retinue things like Huskarls, Fire Drakes, as we've seen more times than I could even count. Things like that.
Usually the melee guys.
Yeah. Which makes sense for them. I mean, it works. And it definitely fills a hole they might need to fill.
And we have the Headhunter kill teams. Unit composition is 1 Headhunter Prime, 4 Headhunters. They may include 5 additional Headhunters at 20 points per model. They are pretty much regular veteran Marine stats, other than they are 1 wounds. And the Prime gets 2 base attacks versus 1 base attack. So they're probably most comparable to a regular Seeker Squad in that regard.
They really are.
They
Legacy-
have... Go ahead.
I was going to say Legacy's added some weapon options for him if there's not anything on the unit.
I know they got pretty decent set of options to begin with, but Legacies does open up more.
Yeah, it added any model in the unit can swap their Bane Strike Combi Bolter for 1 item from the Combi Weapons list, and then the Prime can swap their Bolt Pistol for an Inferno Pistol for 10 points.
And honestly, I wouldn't take any of that.
Right?
Personally, I wouldn't either. I'd stick with their Bane Strike Combi Bolters.
Yeah, they come with Bane Strike Combi Bolters, Power Dagger, Bolt Pistol, Frag and Crack Grenades. They have traits, Allegiance, whichever side you choose, Alpha Legion, and Smokescreen. The Headhunter Prime in the unit may have its Power Dagger exchanged for 1 item from the Legion Sergeant melee weapons list. The Headhunter Prime in this unit may have its Bolt Pistol exchanged for 1 item from the Legion Pistols list. For every 5 models in this unit, one Headhunter Prime may have its Bane Strike Combi Bolter exchanged for a Heavy Bolter or a Multi-Melta. And a Precision 4-up Multi-Melta is a terrifying weapon for sure. They have the special rules of Precision 4-up, Hatred Command, and Infiltrate 9. They also have the skirmish keyword. So they get a unit coherency of 3 inches instead of 2.
Yep. So for 265 points, so I just did the numbers. You can have a squad of 10 out there infiltrated somewhere with 8 Bane Strike Combi Bolters putting out 4 shots a pop and 2 Precision 4-up multi-meltas.
Yeah.
That's just unpleasant to look down at and see on the other side of the table.
Yeah, they're definitely going to murk whoever you want.
Yeah. I mean, they may not survive long after that, but as soon as they get off that first shot, whatever you want dead is likely to be done, especially since you can pick off like characters and apply all those wounds from that from the 2 multi-melta shots and their Ballistic Skill 5. They're good. They're extra good, honestly.
Maybe even a little bit too good. Bane Strike Combi Bolters are range 18, firepower 4, range strength 4, AP 4, damage 1, breaching 6 up. Yeah, no, I love these guys tremendously. They're a fantastic unit, very thematic, very scary, dangerous.
So, if you take the 2 multi-meltas, you've got 32 Bane Strike Combi Bolter hits or shots. At Ballistic Skill 5, so you're going to miss an average of 5 of those shots. Half of the remaining hits are going to be precision shots. Yeah, they're that's seriously hefty. That can do a lot of work. I'm kind of glad they don't have Vanguard, because if they did, they could really be a serious detriment to fun play. Without Vanguard, I think they're right about the perfect spot for them.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. Moving on, we have a unique command option for
He's not a command. He's not a command, is he?
He is a command. The Saboteur is a command.
Oh, okay.
Not Exodus.
Okay, my bad.
I know exactly where you're going with that. That threw me for a loop too.
Yeah, my bad.
Saboteur is a command. He is a 95-point command option. He comes with a Bane Strike shotgun, power dagger, bolt pistol, frag crack, melt-a-bombs, and venom spears. Has the smokescreen and Alpha Legion trait. Special rules of false colors and infiltrate 6. Stat-wise, pretty much right there with all the other console stats. Movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill 5, strength, toughness 4, 3 wounds, I5, 4 attacks, lead 8, cool 8, willpower 7, intelligence 8 with a 2 up, 5 up. He is also a specialist with the skirmish rule. So Bane Strike shotgun is a range 12, firepower 2, range strength 4, AP 4, damage 1, breaching 6 up, shred 6 up, stun 0 shotgun. We all know how much Duncan loves those shotguns.
Yep, love the shotguns. Shotguns everywhere. You wanna read the false colors rule on him, because he's kind of odd.
So false colors. A saboteur cannot be targeted by attacks before they are positively identified, which for some reason this rule's partially cut off in what I have here available. A unit composed entirely of models with this special rule may not be selected as the target of a shooting attack or a charge. When an enemy unit finishes the move within 6 inches of a model with this special rule, that unit's controlling player can make an intelligence check for that unit. If the check is passed, this special rule has no effect for that model until the end of the battle. And then I can't really see the end of it there. But basically, until you walk up to him, say, hey, bro, I made my intelligence check, I can kill you now. You can't target him, and he can do whatever he wants.
Yep. So he's really good for not joining a unit and just running around away from things to kind of go up and get on top of tanks to do anti-tank things. Because he does have melta bombs.
Yep. You want me to cover the Legacies unit and Legacy special character?
Sure.
So Legacies unit is the Alpha Legion Ifrit Disruption Cadre for 145 points. You get a principal and 4 disruptors. You can take 5 additional disruptors for 25 apiece. Movement 7, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 5, strength and toughness 4, 2 wounds, I4, 2 attacks. Leadership and cool 8, 9 on the sergeant, willpower 7, intelligence 8 with a 3 up. These guys have Bane Strike shotguns, bolt pistol, frag and crack. They can infiltrate 8, and their special rule is Hydra's Wail. They also have skirmish and smokescreen. The principal in the unit may have anything from the sergeant melee weapons list. They can swap their shotguns for nemesis bolters for 10 points. Anybody can have power daggers for 5 points a model. And every model can take melt the bombs for 25 points for the unit. The Hydra's Whale special rule: when making cooler intelligence checks for a unit with at least one model within 12 inches of at least one enemy model with this special rule, the controlling player must roll an additional dice and discard the lower roll. It's great for fucking with your enemy's intelligence checks or cool checks. And the special character making a comeback through Legacies is Altian Score. For 135 points, you get movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill 5, strength and toughness 4, 3 wound, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 9, cool, willpower, intelligence 8, with a 2 up, 5 up. He's got Rhyme Shard, a bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. He's Master of the Legion. Rhyme Shard is a power weapon with basic initiative and attacks, plus 2 strength, AP 2, damage 1. And his special rule is Consul Delegatus. An army may not include more than one model with this special rule. If a model with this special rule is selected to fill a command slot in any detachment in the Crusade Force organization chart, then the controller player may select one Apex detachment instead of an auxiliary detachment, usually granted by filling a command slot. Additionally, a model with this special rule counts as being a high command choice for the purposes of any version of Slay the Warlord X.
Yep.
So a nice way to get you some Apex attachments for 135 points.
So my read of that is he counts as a high command, but he doesn't take a high command. So you could actually use this guy and a regular high command Praetor or whomever to unlock another Apex detachment. So you can actually unlock 2 Apex detachments by including Attilian Score.
Yeah, he's a command slot. The Delegatus has the same special rule. So
yeah,
available to everybody, but this is just a named one for the Alpha Legion.
Yeah, with a nice weapon.
Yep.
We also have Lernaean Terminator squads. They are pretty much cataphractic Terminators that get a slight buff to their attacks characteristic. They have weapon skill 5. Higher leadership and cool, I believe, than a regular cataphracti, with 8 and 8 or 9 for leadership on the Harrower. 2 up, 4 up like every other cataphracti. They come equipped with a Volkite charger and a power axe. They have the Alpha Legion trait, Bulky 2. They are line 1, which is quite different. I think they're the only Terminator unit with line, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they are.
Implacable, advanced, slow and purposeful, hatred, legions, Astartes. You can have up to 5 additional ones in the squad for 45 points per model. They get pretty much all the exact same Cataphracti Terminator upgrade options, with the one exception being they can also take the conversion beamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these guys. Last edition they were more of a shooty squad. Now they're stuck in between wanting to shoot and wanting to go punch face.
Well, I mean, so right now you've got the ability to take all the regular close combat weapons and have people swap out axe and charger for lightning claws paired. So that really kind of puts you with these guys in my mind of having the more of a close combat one. But with having line 1, you want these guys sitting on an objective. And some of their weapons, like the conversion beam cannon, you want them far away from people for it to do its best, but with weapon skill 5, you want them on a center line objective or pushing forward onto other objectives. So I kind of think you want to do like a 5 and 5 mix and maybe throw in a character on these guys just to have them have enough close combat punch to where they survive, and then they have enough shooting to where they can sit and hold on something if they really need to. I think they're one of the few actual units that really would work well as a blended unit for dual mix close combat and shooting. Your mileage may vary.
They are definitely the supreme hold the backfield objective unit, because if anybody comes calling for that objective, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I do know that they're beautiful models. That's what I do know.
That's for sure.
Yeah. They're a little undersized now compared to most of the other plastics Terminator-wise, but I still think they're fantastic.
I have not found that to be the case.
Really?
I feel like they hold up pretty well to the current plastics, although we haven't actually really seen the new Cataphracti, but...
Well, that's fair. And we haven't seen them in person yet, so they may hold up there as well. Man, I just like these guys. I've always liked them. And for some reason, their helmet really just kind of makes me happy. They just look so iconically Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
So
I think it's time for everybody's favorite long-range asshole, Brian.
Mr. Exodus himself, or himselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So despite being an HQ choice in every previous edition of the game, Exodus is now an elite slot. Exodus, the one who is many, the assassin. Unit composition is 1 Exodus. For 165 points, you get a movement 7, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 8, strength 4, T4, 3 wounds, I5, attacks 2, leadership 9, cool 10, willpower 7, and intelligence 7, 2 up, 5 up, sniper character of death. He comes equipped with the instrument, which is his rifle, bolt pistol, power dagger, venom spears, frag and crack grenades. He also has the smokescreen trait, which I feel like one of us is going to have to look up at some point. I think that gives you the special reaction for being harder to hit or something, or a damage mitigation save, maybe.
Yeah.
Special rules are Shrouded 5 up, Infiltrate 9, Lone Killer, Precision 4 up, Support Unit 1, Infantry Light. The instrument has 2 fire modes. Rapid Shot, which is range 24, firepower 3, strength 6, AP 3, damage 1. No special rules. And Execution Shot, range 72, firepower 1, strength 8, AP 2, damage 1, heavy damage, pinning 1. Lone Killer, a model with this special rule, may not be joined by any other models.
Yep.
Didn't he need to be unique?
He did. Now he just has support unit 1 and is an elite.
And what does support
So-
unit 1 do?
What does
John?
one do?
Support unit?
Yeah, that's the rule. Support unit.
He can only score 1 victory point off of claiming an objective.
Okay. So
So even if it's worth 3 points, he only gets 1 point.
So if you take the Headhunter Leviathan, you can have 2 of them, backed up by 2 Headhunter squads.
No.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Logistical benefit is the only way to get him in the Headhunter Leviathan, and you can only take a logistical benefit once per detachment for a prime benefit in a
They were saying,
detachment.
nope.
And he's not a Headhunter or a Seeker squad, so you can't use him for
yeah.
the elite slots in that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Never mind. I forgot about that part for Headhunter Leviathan. Yeah. Never mind.
But you still could fit a lot of these guys in an Alpha Legion army.
I mean, you could. Although, how many Exodus is too many? I think more than one is likely to be a bit unpleasant. With all the rest of the shooting shenanigans they pull off.
I don't know, a whole army of Exodus versus Black Shield Centurion army.
Okay, I would pay to see that. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I'll give it that.
I think once you hit 2, your ROI on the Exodus is going to be kind of lacking.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it would be fun to imagine on a clear open field with them just charging right at Exodus and all the other Exodus.
Exodus.
No. Yeah, Exodus. I mean, it's a funny, absurd idea. But then again, so is the other army list. So, I don't know. I think we all like Exodus as the concept and as a character. I wish I understood why he became an elite and not just remain a command spot. But I think he should have remained unique.
It's Alpha Legion. Try explaining anything they do.
You can't. You really can't.
I think it's funny that he's now kind of more effective as a go merc power armor marines that are on an objective than an individual character.
That's I mean, well, with he's what? His damage is 1 for the nasty shot, or is it 2? Well, if he stays still, it's damage 2.
Correct.
Yeah, so he's not even really all that great at sniping out nasty characters because he's only gonna be able to do a maximum of 2 damage to him with that nasty shot. So,
And instant death is no longer a thing.
yeah. So, yeah.
He'd kind of get pantsed by the Black Shield's Army of Death because he just couldn't. I mean, pretty much anything that's got a decent number of elite troopers is not going to have any trouble with him. He's just not, like Brian just said, he's pretty good at killing Marines, but anything that's a little better, they're tougher than that, he's not doing great against.
Yeah. I mean, he's fun. Model wise, he's great. Flavor wise, he'd be cool to throw into a list where you have 165 points or whatever spare. Just to throw him at things that you need Like you've already shot at him with the headhunters or whatever, and you just need these final things cleared off. That'd be nice to have him do, but he's not going to be a be-all, end-all. But he is cool.
He was very cool.
I almost wonder if you'd do better taking a Vindicare, because you can take 3 of those per detachment now.
How many points are a Vindicare?
150?
So he's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
He's at the same cost, I believe, as a base Headhunter Kill Team squad. Oh no, they're cheaper base.
And the Exodus rifle is 1 shot, strength 7, AP nothing, AP damage 2, but it's ordnance AP. Precision 2 up and pinning 1.
So it's a toss-up, really, depending on what you really want it to do.
Yeah.
I think for Alpha Legion, he's definitely fluffy enough to where you wouldn't have to include the Vindicare. But
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're looking for effectiveness, it's almost a
he's lacking compared to
6 of one, half dozen of another.
Different strokes.
Yep.
And then we also have Armilius Dynat, who is a high command choice, unique character. I believe we're all familiar with this guy. He's a real bastard. He is 185 points. He has a Praetor stat line. Movement 7, weapon skill 6, BS 5, strength, toughness 4, wounds 4, initiative 5, attacks 5, lead 10, cool 9, willpower and intelligence 8, with a 2+, 4+. He is infantry unique command, has the Hero Master special rule, which we'll get to in a second. The war gear is the Prince and the Prophet, which is his sword and thunderhammer. The bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, venom spears, and phosphex bombs, which is terrifying. He has Master of the Legion and the Alpha Legion trait. So the Prince and the Prophet are pretty neat. The Prince is basically a power sword. Initiative user, attacks user, strength user, AP3, damage 1, breaching 5 up, but has the Thunder Strike special rule. The Prophet is initiative modifier -2, attack modifier -1, strength modifier +3, AP2, damage 2. Thunderstrike, if 3 or more hit tests made for a weapon with this special rule are successful, create a new strike group of 1 attack using the weapon's The Prophet profile. This strike group is resolved during the current initiative step. So if he slaps you with his sword 3 times, out of the 5 he gets base, you get a bonus Thunderhammer swing for free.
Yep.
At initiative.
Yep. It's effective. What about his Hero Master rule, sir?
This is the thing that I really like about him. Hero Master. Certain units gain the Infiltrate Act special rule when joined by Armilius Dynat. When a model with this special rule is deployed, if every model in its unit does not have the Bulky X special rule, all models in that unit gain the Infiltrate 12 special rule.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's a surprise vet squad or a surprise Praetorian command squad.
At least they
Yep.
put out bulky, so that means no Terminators or sneaky Fulmentaris or...
Or somehow even worse, if you wanted to do it, a surprise Inducti squad who you cannot shoot at.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I don't think we touched on their Inducti squad yet.
Nope, we have not. I've got them pulled up if you want me to talk about them.
Absolutely, sir.
90 points for Inducti, 9 points per for more. You can get them 10 more. They're movement 7, standard marine stats, except for leadership 7, cool 7, willpower, and intelligence of 6 with a regular 3-up save. Bolter, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, line 1, treacherous lure, and induct are their rules. For every 5, you can get a combi bolter. One weapon can change their bolter for one weapon from the Legion combi weapons list. One guy can have a Vexilla. 2 more can have other gear from the Legion equipment list. You can give them all bayonets for 8 points, chain bayonets for 2 points. And treacherous lore says that a unit with models entirely of models with this special rule may not be selected as a target unit of a shooting attack during the first battle turn. This special rule has no effect on volley attacks or shooting attacks made as part of a reaction. So you could use that to then deploy him forward with the deploy Dynet forward with them. Detach him. Now they're all made up of that one rule. Have him join some other squad who is infiltrated up just behind them. And congratulations, you've now got a blob of 20 inducti who can shoot you and you can't shoot back sitting on an objective. I'm not saying this is a brilliant idea. I'm not saying this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. What I am saying is it's funny and it baits people with Alpha Legion effective tactics, and it'll be funny on the battlefield if you do it.
Most of the armies I build are for funny.
Exactly. I mean, that's the point, right? We're not playing here for competitive. We're here for having fun. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time talking about both the Alpha Legion and the White Scars. I think we could all go on about different ideas and things that you can spring into your head for both armies.
We'll just have to cover the man himself.
Oh, no, please, can we just ignore him? I'm scared of him. I'm sad.
No.
All right, Brian, you want to talk about Farius?
I suppose. I mean, I prefer Omegon.
Oh, well, okay, that's fair.
The myth, the man, the even greater myth, Alfarius himself. Surprise, surprise, unit composition is one Alfarius. Omegon's not included. He has 465 points. For that, you get movement 8, weapon skill 7, ballistic skill 7, strength 6, T6, 6 wounds, initiative 7, 6 attacks, lead 12, cool 10, willpower 10, intelligence 11. He's pretty darn smart. He gets a 2+, 4+. For special roles, he is Sire of the Alpha Legion, Bulky 4, Everywhere and Nowhere, Eternal Warrior 2, which that right there is very, very fucking solid. War Gear, the Pale Spear, not Sphere, the Hydra Spite, the Pythian Scales, Frag and Crack Grenades, Venom Spears. Traits are Alpha Legion. He's also allegiance agnostic. He could be loyalist or traitor. Smokescreen and Master of the Legion. The Pythian Scales. This model gains the Feel No Pain 4+ special rule against attacks made with weapons with the Poisoned Axe special rule. The Pale Spear is a melee weapon with initiative modifier +1, attacks user, strength modifier +1, AP2, damage 2, critical hit 5+, armor bane, and phage strength.
Yeah.
He is a paragon for his type, and he's also light.
So he gets all the fun of the skirmish with his guys.
Mm-hmm.
What about his
So-
gun? All the rest.
The Hydra Spite is his fancy plasma pistol. I think it's plasma pistol.
Yeah.
It's plasma.
Range 18, firepower 2, range strength of 7, AP 3, damage 1, breaching 4 up. So it doesn't even have overload.
Yeah.
It's also assault.
Even his plasma pistol doesn't know where he is, so it can't hurt him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everywhere and nowhere. Alfarius may be redeployed at the start of the battle. If the mission being played has a deploy army step, which I believe they all do, at the end of this step, the controlling player of a model with this special rule can deploy this model again. When they do so, this model can leave any unit it has joined before being deployed and can join a different unit by being deployed with the unit within unit coherency of it if the unit is on the battlefield, or placed with that unit if it is currently embarked upon a model which has the transport subtype. That model has sufficient remaining transport capacity and is able to transform models with a bulky X rule. This special rule cannot be used to deploy this model on the battlefield outside of the controlling player's deployment zone, or embarked upon a model with the transport subtitle on the battlefield outside of the controlling player's deployment zone. Sire of the
Sneaking him in to infiltrate with him.
No, and you also cannot redeploy him into reserves.
Correct.
Sire of the Alpha Legion. If a model with this special rule is part of an army, then the controlling player may apply the following additional special rules to all auxiliary, apex, and primary detachments that have the same faction trait as the model with this special rule. If 4 or more troops battlefield role slots in the primary detachment. Wait, did I read that right? If 4 or more troops battlefield role slots in the primary detachment of the army are filled with tactical squads and or assault squad units, then all force organization slots within the troops battlefield role in the primary detachment are considered prime slots. Furthermore, if a model with this special role is part of an army, then the following special rules are granted to all models with the Alpha Legion trait in the same army. When the controlling player of a model with this special rule makes a reserves roll for a unit which only includes models with the Alpha Legion trait on a reserve roll of 5+, that unit can enter play as if it has the outflank special rule.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So you can outflank guys who weren't originally outflanking with him. But he can't be included in that unit. You can't infiltrate him forward. You can't deploy him in reserves to outflank him or anything else. But everything else, he's good at. I like his old rule where he could just randomly appear inside of any squadron and replace a single dude.
That was bullshit.
I loved that rule. I thought that was fluffy and fun.
Playing against it is utter bullshit.
Never said it wasn't. It was just fun.
I mean, Alpha Legion as a whole is utter bullshit.
And still fun. I'm not saying they're not crazy. I'm not saying they're not more than a bit loopy. But they are funny, and they are fun, and they're an entirely unique way of taking on the entire Legion. Or any Legion. You've got fast attackers, you've got line holders, you've got infiltrators, you've got shooters that are amazingly bad or amazingly good. Yeah, it's utterly unique in playstyle. And from my understanding and experience, they're very highly represented everywhere on every battlefield and every event I've ever gone to. So many people like Alpha Legion.
Just because they
You can
look
only
so
just-
pretty.
Yeah, it does paint well, especially with those new Vallejo metallics that are coming out, where it looks like you can paint them in one color.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Or you could be like me and breathe deep of the Tamaya fumes.
Yep.
Puff the Tamaya fumes per Jack.
Yep. So that covers everybody.
It do indeed. I don't have anything to report for this week coming up other than regular scheduled hobby night that we have on Wednesdays will be used for a lot of people for the Secret Santa thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that, and then my monthly third weekend game at the nearby Hilton on 75. The Facebook page has it, as well as our Discord, and a couple other Discords have links to will be held on Saturday the 20th of December. And then obviously the Texas Open on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of January. Still selling tickets for that.
The Adepticon cart preview goes live tomorrow, the 15th of December. Now, that's the preview, not the ticket buying, but people can look at stuff and see what's going on and get ideas of what they want to do and what they want to play.
Yeah. And then the 21st is our last show of the year.
It is
before
indeed.
We go on to winter holiday.
Yep. We should be back, I believe it's January the 4th. Is that correct?
It is correct. January the 4th.
We need to record a patron episode next week as well.
Believe we do.
We got an event coming up January 17th here in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Far Harbor Gaming. I have information posted on the Accountability Buddies Discord for that. They're running it through Best Coast Pairings or something like that, so you can pre-register for the event. They still had, I want to say, 10 slots open still, and the game size is going to be 5,000 points with some relaxed restrictions for Lord of Wars. The idea being bring your big nasty Titans, Fellblades, Falchions, Mastodons, all the crazy wacky fun.
Cool. I do have something I wish to shout out. Our friend over in Germany, Jeremy Lindner, who is part of the Good Times and War Crimes group with Chris Bergeron at Adepticon, both friends of the show. Jeremy has started using his website, darkhorsepainting.com, releasing and reviewing the old black books in retrospect, and then using those to come up with missions based out of the actual old black books interpreted for 3rd edition. And he's got the first, I think he's got Betrayal, and they're all Isfang 3 campaign missions, I believe the first 3 posts are. But they're all really well done. They're flavorful, they're fun from my read, and I want to give him kudos for doing what a lot of people have talked about doing and haven't actually gotten around to working on yet. So kudos to Jeremy. I think he's listening to us eventually sometime. So thanks for that, brother. We'll share your link to that on the Discord, and I know you shared it elsewhere as well.
Does that cover everything?
Jeremy's cool, dude.
He is good people.
John, do you have an event coming up in January?
Yep, I already shouted it out.
Yeah, Duncan. You jerk.
Apparently, I'm just out of it tonight. I'm sorry if I missed it.
It's okay. I missed about 20 minutes of the podcast.
16th, 17th, and 18th is Texas Open.
Yeah.
That's it.
Got
Yeah.
tickets for 50 people. Selling fast.
Yay.
John's meat optional.
No, sadly, it's going to take like
Mandatory.
3 truck trips, so no meat.
Oh,
I did get a good review on the brisket already that I did this weekend. So
cool.
So I think that takes us to John taking us out of here.
I think so.
Yeah, so everybody, thank you for joining us on this, the 152nd episode of the Heresy Accountability Buddies podcast. Join us next week where we'll be covering
End of the year review
the end of the year review
and hopes for next year.
and hopes for next year. Cool things that we want to see. If you have anything you would like to see next year, tell us about it. Post or leave a comment on the new episode post or on the YouTube page, and we'll talk about how cool or terrible an idea it is.
I would like to see Duncan do this podcast shirtless.
I think that is a terrible idea, and I would not like to see that.
And on that note, oh wait, he stopped. I was going to stop the recording.
Yep. Nope. I'm not taking my shirt off. Or if I did,
And-
I'd have like the camera would be like this. You get to see my shiny forehead.
So thank you for joining me and my friends.
Dave.
Again, that's not Dave. That's Brian and myself, Duncan.
Always remember to stay accountable to yourselves, to your buddies, and your hobby, and always in that order. We'll talk to you next time. I think he's off there.
I swear, I'm gonna contact English Bob. I'm gonna have him come back just to be on one episode.
Like and subscribe and see ya.